Alrighty, it looks like we are now live. Hello, everyone. My name is Phoebe, and I will be your trivia host this evening. I want to start out by thanking College of DuPage for hosting this online trivia night. I personally love hosting trivia. I've been hosting for about 2 years now, and it's a great way to kind of put a break in your week, a break in your day, add a little bit of a distraction to your week if you need it. And I hope everyone's excited to play trivia. All questions tonight are going to be general knowledge questions, so that means even if you don't think you're too good at trivia, there may be some questions that surprise you that you may just know the answer to, or you may just learn something new if you still don't think you're gonna. If you don't win, you're still gonna learn something. So, what general knowledge means is that these questions are going to run the gamut. There are no rounds, it's just 35 general knowledge, multiple choice questions. They could be about sports, they could be about geography, they could be about pop culture, music, which I guess is part of pop culture, geography, just anything. So it could really be anything tonight. So that's what's pretty exciting about general knowledge is, like I said, you're bound to learn something new. So we're not going to get started until about 10 after here, just to make sure that everybody who wants to play trivia makes it to the game. But for now, what I want to do is give you guys the link in the comments here just in case you don't have it. So I've dropped that in the comments there. Again, if maybe it's in your email somewhere and you don't want to go find it or you don't have it up yet. So that is the link that you're going to want to use to play trivia. Don't answer the questions in the comments because then you're going to be giving away answers to people. If you want to put wrong answers in the comments, I don't recommend it because that might confuse people. But something to note alongside of that is, please, I can't see what you guys are doing, so please do not cheat. Do not look up any of the answers. I know it can be tempting because I can't see ya. But something else to note is that I just dropped the link for trivia. If you want to play trivia, I recommend doing that on a device like your phone or a laptop, and then having this YouTube stream up on your TV or your laptop, what have you. For example, you cannot play trivia and watch the YouTube stream on your phone. So what I like to do when I play trivia, and I play online all the time, is I'll have the YouTube stream on my TV so that I can hear it nice and loud, nice and clear, and then I'll play trivia on my laptop, which is what I'm streaming to you guys from right now, so that I can then answer as quickly as possible. Something about it just feels a little bit quicker. And those few seconds really matter because two things to note. The unfortunate thing with YouTube is that there's always a tiny bit of a lag. It looks like right now it's only about 3 seconds, so it shouldn't be that bad. But I will say, oh, the timer has started for this question, and it may not have started just yet. So make sure whatever device you're playing on, you keep a close eye on that. Try not to have too many other applications open or be using Wi-Fi on too many other devices, just so that you can minimize any potential lag issues or any loading errors, etc. For my example, I only use my laptop and my phone. My phone is how I control the game. It's all in here. And I have my computer hooked up to Ethernet so that I can make sure I'm getting this to you guys with as little lag as possible. So hopefully there aren't any technical errors. If you are having any issues, I unfortunately will not be able to see comments while I'm hosting trivia. The best that I can recommend is that you just refresh the page that you're playing trivia on and try not to navigate away from it too often. I know texts come through. You may be tempted to look away from the browser window. It can sometimes cause the browser to forget where you were, though. So try to stay on that page, and if you do have any errors, they're few and far between, but just refresh, and hopefully those will be all taken care of. Let's see, still got about 5 minutes before we're going to go ahead and get started with College of DuPage Trivia Night. Thank you so much again for hosting. If you're joining us just a little late, my name is Phoebe. I will be your trivia host for this evening. Hope everyone's excited. It is all general knowledge trivia, so it could range any kind of topic, so you never know. Something you know all about might be asked. And as a side note of that, if you don't know a lot about a lot of topics, you will perhaps learn something new. And this is all multiple choice. So that means there are only 4 possible answers for every question. So what I'm going to do is I will read off the question. I will then read off all of the possible answers. and then I will open it up for answering. So you will then have 30 seconds to answer each question, and as that 30 seconds slowly ticks down to 0, so does your points possible. So that's really where it comes into play that, you know, the rankings will really be switched up by the time we get to later questions in the game, because the more quickly you answer, the more points possible for you. So you start at 150 points per question, and as the time ticks down, the points go down to 0. So if you have a gut feeling about one of the answers, even if you're not sure at all, it's better to get that in sooner than later, and then you could potentially get more points on the board than if you wait until the end and then only get, 10 points even if you're correct. So with that, because their time is a big element of this, it's important to keep the lag in mind and to always have your eyes on the screen where you're playing trivia. We do have a practice question to get us started. We're going to get started shortly here, but the practice question should help you get used to how much time you have before the timer actually starts, how much time you have to answer, and how long it takes you to think of that response. So one pro tip I can offer is that if you are playing on your phone, usually on a laptop, you don't have to do this, but there will be a GIF or a photo with every question. If you scroll past that, you will get closer to where the answers will show up, because all of the answer choices will show up underneath the GIF. So that's a quick pro tip for you. Apologies, I host trivia really often, so I need to make sure I have enough water getting in me. We will get started in about 3 minutes here, so if you need a drink of water, if you need to grab a snack before we get started, now is the time to do so. I will not be snacking during this hour just because that'd be kind of weird, but if you want popcorn, now's the time to put that in the microwave. So, or if you have anyone else, roommates, son, daughter, family members, brother, sister, now would be the time to rope them in to help you out. Like I said, we'll get started shortly here. I just want to make sure I'm giving everyone time to get into the game. If you do not have the link, I have added that in the comments. And feel free to talk amongst yourselves in the YouTube comments there. Those are there for you guys to chat or, psych each other out if you want to do so. Some friendly competition is totally fine with me as long as you guys aren't Googling any answers to get ahead. Speaking of the competition, every 10 questions or so, I will be showing you guys the leaderboard to see how well everyone is doing. So make sure that you have the name that you'd like to use while you play trivia now. If you refresh the page, it will ask you to put in a new name or continue with the same name that you've been using. If you'd like to use a fun name, hello! Thank you so much for hosting. I'm so excited to host this trivia night for College of DuPage. My brother and I both went to College of DuPage for a few years, so it's close to our hearts, but goodness, I was somewhere and I've already lost it. But we're going to get started shortly here. I apologize. Let's see. Yay. It should be a really fun trivia night. Make sure that, you have the name that you want to use. If you'd like to use a fun team name that's, appropriate, you can refresh the page and type that in. Or you can just go with your first name, last initial, whatever you'd like to do. Now would be the time to use that. However, if you refresh the page once the game has already started and you change your name then, you will lose all of your points that you have so far. So that is something to note. Don't refresh and change your name once we've started, because it will screw you up. So I think that's about it. There are 35 general knowledge trivia questions this evening. They range all kinds of topics, so there should be something for everyone in there. I unfortunately will not be able to see your comments in the YouTube chat while we play, so if you have any issues, refresh the browser window and that should get rid of the issues. There is a little bit of a lag with YouTube. I'm sorry there isn't too much I can do about it, but we will have a practice question to start us off so that hopefully it doesn't mess with you guys too much. 35 questions. We will look at the leaderboard every 10 questions, so because of the practice question, that'll be after question 11, 21, and 31, and then question 36 will be the final question of the evening. With that being said, I don't want to take up too much of your time with just me explaining how things work, so let's go ahead and get into the practice question. I'm going to switch the view for you guys here real quick. Okay, hopefully you didn't see too much behind the curtain there, but for now, here is your practice question. Again, it's just for practice. It's not worth any points. It'll just get you used to how this system works. So question number 1, what is the name of your host today? That is myself. Is it A, Samantha, B, Kelsey, C, Haley, or D, Phoebe? You have 30 seconds to answer starting now. And me saying that should give you an idea as to how much lag you're experiencing. Again, I apologize for that. Just the nature of the way YouTube streaming works. So hopefully it doesn't mess you up too much. Like I said earlier, best I can recommend is just make sure you keep an eye on the browser that you're playing trivia in so that you don't lose track of that timer. But again, this practice question is, what is the name of your host today? That is myself. Am I Samantha, Kelsey, Haley, or Phoebe? Time is up, so after each question, we will look at how everyone answered. So 8 people said Phoebe, 1 said Kelsey, and 1 said Samantha. Now, it won't tell you who answered what. So, for example, if I had answered one of these, it wouldn't have my name by it. In this case, my name is by one of these answers, though. And the correct answer is Phoebe. So 8 of you were correct. I do have friends with all of those names, but Phoebe was the correct answer here. Unfortunately, you do not get points if you got that correct. But with question 2, you have a chance to put some points on the board. So here you go. Question number 2. The production of the chocolate spread Nutella by Italian manufacturer Ferrero uses approximately 1/4 of the world's supply of which nut? Is it A, hazelnut, B, pecan, C, walnut, or D, almond? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. The production of Nutella uses approximately 1/4 of the world's supply of which of these nuts? Is it hazelnut, pecan, walnut, or almond? I'm allergic to 3 out of these 4 nuts. And it is one of the nuts I'm allergic to, so sadly I cannot eat Nutella. Oh, that's okay, I like peanut butter just fine. Alright, let's see here. 10 of you said hazelnut, 1 said almond. The correct answer here is hazelnut. Hazelnut, that's 1/4 of the world's supply of hazelnuts are used for Nutella, which is wild. That's a whole lot of hazelnuts. So there you go. Well done on question 2. Here's question number 3. Which candy inspired a Disney animated TV show that aired from 1985 to 1991? Is it A, Reese's Pieces, B, Sour Patch Kids, C, Gummy Bears, or D, Jelly Babies? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Go ahead and get those answers in. Which of these candies inspired a Disney animated TV show that aired from 85 to 91? Is it Reese's Pieces, Sour Patch Kids, Gummy Bears, or Jelly Babies? Alright, that's time. Let's take a look here. 6 of you said Gummy Bears and 5 said Sour Patch Kids. One of those is the correct answer, and the right answer here is Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears was that animated TV show. I was just a little too young to have seen it, but I hear very good things. I was more around, DuckTales Tailspin age. But with that, well done to the 6 who got it correct. Here's question number 4. The very first Super Bowl took place in 1967. Who was the winner? Obviously, Left Shark is the winner of all Super Bowls, but is it A, Chicago Bears, B, San Francisco 49ers, C, Kansas City Chiefs, or D, Green Bay Packers? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Go ahead and get your answers in. The first Super Bowl took place in 67. Who was the winner? Was it the Bears, the 49ers, the Chiefs, or the Packers? I can't believe it was that recent, honestly. My parents are older than the Super Bowl, which is a credit to them, because I like them more than football. Alrighty, let's see. 6 said the Packers, 3 said the Bears, and 2 said the Chiefs. One of those is the correct answer, and it is the Green Bay Packers. So a win for Packers fans there, claim to fame being the first Super Bowl winners. 6 of you were correct there. Well done. Here is question number 5. Finish this quote from a popular 80s TV commercial. Pardon me, would you have any blank? Is it A, Ruffles Chips, B, Cheese Whiz, C, Miracle Whip, or D, Grey Poupon? You have 30 seconds to answer starting now. Go ahead and get your answers in. Finish this quote from a popular 80s commercial. Pardon me, would you have any blank? Is it Ruffles Chips, Cheese Whiz, Miracle Whip, or Grey Poupon? The only reason I know this, I'll wait till the timer's a little closer to the end. The only reason that I know this one is because of Wayne's World, as they say it in that movie. Alright, let's see how you did. 6 said Grey Poupon, 5 said Cheese Whiz. One of those is the correct answer, and it is Grey Poupon. So I just remember Wayne saying, pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon? And that's the only reason I know it. But there you go, that is question 5. Well done to the 6 that got that correct. Here's question number 6. In 1930, the Mars Confectionery Company produced what candy bar named after the family's horse? Is it A, Milky Way, B, O. Henry, C, Twix, or D, Snickers? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. In 1930, the Mars Confectionery Company introduced what candy bar that was named after the family's horse? Is it a Milky Way, an O. Henry, a Twix, or a Snickers? Alright, that's time. Let's take a look here. 4 said Snickers and 4 said Milky Way, 2 said O. Henry, and 1 said Twix. One of the answers that 4 of you said is correct. Gotta love that nougat. Caramel. They both have caramel. The correct answer here is Snickers. It is a Snickers bar. So well done to the 4 that got that correct. Here is question 7. If your cruise ship docks at Punta Cana or Santo Domingo, what island are you visiting? Is it A, Trinidad, B, Dominican Republic, C, Puerto Rico, or D, Haiti? You have 30 seconds starting now. If your cruise ship docks at Punta Cana or Santo Domingo, which of these islands are you visiting? Is it Trinidad, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, or Haiti? I have never been to any of these places. Alright, that's time. Let's take a look here. 8 of you said Dominican Republic, and 1 each for Trinidad, Puerto Rico, and Haiti. I'll tell you what, 8 of you are absolutely correct. Dominican Republic is the correct answer here. Well done. Here's question number 8. Which of these is not one of the 3 primary colors? I want to warn you, all of the colors match the box, so you don't have to be too confused. You'll see what I mean when I get to it. Is it A, yellow, B, red, C, blue, or D, green? Which of these is not a primary color? You have 30 seconds starting now. And as you can see, the answer box matches the response. Would have been confusing otherwise, but which of these is not a primary color? Is it yellow, red, blue, or green? Makes me want to color looking at all those colored pencils. All right, let's see here. 10 of you said green and 2 said yellow. Yellow and blue make green, so the correct answer here is green. 10 of you got that one correct. Well done. I believe that's considered a secondary color because it takes 2 colors to make it. So there you go. That was question 8. Here is question number 9. Which of these animals does not have a year named after it, according to the Chinese zodiac and Lunar New Year celebrations? Is it A, donkey, B, snake, C, rabbit, or D, goat? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Which of these animals does not have a year named after it, according to the Chinese zodiac and Lunar New Year celebrations? Is it a donkey, a snake, a rabbit, or a goat? I believe there are 12 of these animals in total. Other examples are rooster, monkey, I think dog is one of them. So let's see how you did. I was born in the year of the snake. 11 of you said donkey and 1 said goat. The correct answer is indeed donkey. Donkey is not part of the Chinese zodiac, so well done to those 11. Here's question number 10. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Borat Sagdiyev, played by Sacha Baron Cohen, was a fictitious journalist who visits the United States from which country? Is it A, Afghanistan, B, Turkmenistan, C, Kazakhstan, or D, Uzbekistan? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. Which country does Borat hail from? Is it Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, or Uzbekistan? I haven't seen his new movie yet either, so that's probably why I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but if anyone has seen it and you liked it, let people know in the YouTube comments. All right, let's see here. 9 of you said Kazakhstan, 2 said Uzbekistan, and 1 said Afghanistan. The correct answer for this one is Kazakhstan. 9 of you are absolutely correct. Well done there. I probably wouldn't have known this one, so well done to you. And we're going to go to question 11 now, and then we will take the first look at the leaderboard. Which of these is not one of the 5 boroughs of New York City? Is it A, Bronx, B, Queens, C, Manhattan, or D, Hamptons? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. Which of these is not one of the 5 boroughs of New York City? Is it Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, or Hamptons? All right, that's time on this one. Let's see. 12 of you said the Hamptons. You are 100% correct. So that's awesome on this last question before we look at the leaderboard so far. Everyone added some points to their score. So well done there on question number 11. Now let's take a look at how you're doing. All right, here is that promised first look at the leaderboard. It looks like we have 12 teams playing tonight, which is awesome. Thank you guys so much again for joining in. We have Sleepy in first, Joe P in second, Liberty Bell in third, Jacqueline R in fourth, Kimba in fifth, Jellymar in sixth, Gabby in seventh, Poishella in eighth, Chuck in ninth, Sheila in 11th, and Bonjour in 12th. And it's pretty close up there at the top, only 2 points between Sleepy and Joe. And if you aren't too close to the top right now, I'll tell you, we still have 25 questions left. So don't worry, you still have plenty of chances to add some more points to your score. And there are plenty more new fun facts to learn if you don't know them yet. They may be helpful someday. So that's the look at the leaderboard. Let's go to question 12. The Music of the Night is a song from what show which opened on Broadway in 1988? Is it A, A Little Night Music, B, Miss Saigon, C, Les Miserables, or D, The Phantom of the Opera? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. All right, The Music of the Night is a song from what show which opened on Broadway in 1988? Is it A Little Night Music, Miss Saigon, Les Mis, or Phantom of the Opera? This is one of my more favorite musicals. It's just very, very, very good live. I know that's not saying much right now because we can't see musicals, but one day we will be able to see musicals again, and I recommend picking this one. So, let's see how you did. 10 said Phantom, 1 for Little Night Music, and 1 for Miss Saigon. The correct answer is Phantom of the Opera. Watching an actual giant chandelier crash into the stage, it's very exciting. Highly recommend. So here is question 13. Peter the Great led which country during his lifetime? Is it A, United Kingdom, B, Greece, C, Italy, or D, Russia? You have 30 seconds to answer this one, starting now. Peter the Great led which of these countries during his lifetime? Is it United Kingdom, Greece, Italy, or Russia? All right, let's take a look at how you did. 10 said Russia, 1 said Greece, and 1 said Italy. As is the case with most trivia questions, if a lot of people said it, it's probably correct. And that is the case here. 10 of you said Russia, and you are correct. Well done there. On question 13, he led Russia during his lifetime. So there you go. Here is question 14. Russell Simmons started Def Jam Recordings in 1984 with which music producer? It's not Mario. Is it A, Rick Rubin, B, Babyface, C, Mike Dean, or D, Teddy Riley? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. Russell Simmons started Def Jam Recordings. Wow. Def Jam Recordings in 1984 with which music producer? Is that Rick Rubin, Babyface, Mike Dean, or Teddy Riley? And I realized that it's not Mario. That was because of the GIF of Mario. But there's also a music artist named Mario, and that is also not the answer. So it's extremely not Mario. All right, let's take a look here. 6 of you said Rick Rubin, 3 said Teddy Riley, 2 said Babyface, and 1 said Mike Dean. The correct answer here is Rick Rubin. 50% of you are correct there on question 14. Well done. Now we say goodbye to Mario and go to question 15. Asuncion is which country's capital city? Is it A, Uruguay, B, Argentina, C, Peru, or D, Paraguay? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. Asuncion is which country's capital city? Is it Uruguay, Argentina, Peru, or Paraguay? I like these geography ones a lot. Alrighty, let's take a look here. 7 of you said Paraguay, 4 said Uruguay, and 1 said Peru. The correct answer for this question is what most of you thought. It's Paraguay. 7 of you are correct there on question number 15. Well done. That is points added to your score. Let's go to question 16. Which of these is the actual name of the evil queen from Snow White? Did you know that she has an actual name? Crazy, right? Your choices here are Perla, B. Calcifer, C. Grimhild, or D. Drizella. You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. Which of these is the actual name of the evil queen from Snow White? Is it A. Perla, B. Calcifer, C. Grimhild, or D. Drizella? I always like to double check on these if I'd never heard it before. I haven't heard this one. If you had asked me, I probably would have said Regina from Once Upon a Time. But let's see how you did. 7 said Grimhild and 5 said Drizella. One of those is the correct answer, and Drizella is actually one of the wicked stepsisters in Cinderella. So, Grimhilda is the correct answer there. 7 of you are correct. I had to Google it to make sure, because she's a queen too, and that's not like, I don't know, that's a pretty evil queen name, so I feel like they would absolutely know that she's evil, but whatever. And Calcifer is, of course, the little fire demon from Howl's Moving Castle. I don't know about Perla, but there you go. That's question 16. Here's question 17. Which of these is not one of the 4 March sisters in Louisa May Alcott's 19th century novel, Little Women? All pictured there. Is it A, Beth, B, Amy, C, Jo, or D, Mary? You have 30 seconds, starting now. 3 of these are names of 4 of the March sisters. One of them is not. Which is the incorrect one? Is it Beth, Amy, Jo, or Mary? One of their names is not here. One of the names is an imposter. All right, that is time. The 4th Little Women, or the 4th March sister that's not mentioned is Meg. So 5 of you said Amy, 3 said Beth, and 4 said Mary. None of you said Jo. You all know she's like the main character. But the correct answer here is Mary. It's actually Meg. Meg, I believe, is Emma Watson's character in the 2019 movie. So there you go. 4 of you were correct. Mary is not one of the March sisters. And well done on question 17. Here is question 18. Who wrote the score and also performed Jack Skellington's singing voice in the film The Nightmare Before Christmas? Is it A, Chris Sarandon, B, Tim Burton, C, Michael Bublé, or D, Danny Elfman? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Who wrote the score and also performed Jack Skellington's singing voice in the film The Nightmare Before Christmas? Was it Chris Sarandon, Tim Burton, Michael Bublé, or Danny Elfman? I'm just going to say I absolutely need versions of all of those songs with Michael Bublé singing now. Just sounds absolutely hilarious. So that is time. Let's take a look here. 11 said Danny Elfman and 1 said Tim Burton. The correct answer here is indeed Danny Elfman. 11 of you are correct on that one. Chris Sarandon was the speaking voice for Jack. So there you go. Although I never knew it was a different person. I thought they sounded so similar. How would I know? So 11 of you added points to your score there. Well done. Here's question 19. Released in 2006 when she was just 16, what was the name of Taylor Swift's first album? Is it A, Speak Now, B, Fearless, C, Red, or D, Taylor Swift? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Released in 2006 when she was just 16, what was the name of Taylor Swift's first album? Is it Speak Now, Fearless, Red, or Taylor Swift? not to flex, but I got a signed copy of Folklore. A lot of local record stores have these or are having them sent in, so if you're a fan, check that out. All right, that's time. Let's see. 6 of you said Taylor Swift, 5 said Fearless, and 1 said Speak Now. Speak Now, I believe, was her second. Fearless was third, and Red was fourth. The first one is her self-titled Taylor Swift. 50% of you were correct on that one. Well done. On question number 19, here's question number 20. What U.S. territory uses the unofficial motto, "Where America's Day Begins"? Is that A, U.S. Virgin Islands, B, American Samoa, C, Guam, or D, Puerto Rico? You have 30 seconds, starting now. What U.S. territory uses the unofficial motto, "Where America's Day Begins"? Is it U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, Guam, or Puerto Rico? Also, I love this GIF a whole lot, but I also really love that show. All right, that's time. Let's take a look here. 8 of you said Guam, 2 said U.S. Virgin Islands, 1 said American Samoa, and 1 said Puerto Rico. The correct answer here is what most of you thought. It's Guam. So 67% of you were correct there. Well done. We're going to go to question number 21 here, and then take another look at the leaderboard. So, question 21. Kurt Vonnegut's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and William Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury both take their titles from a speech in what Shakespeare play? Is it A, Julius Caesar, B, Hamlet, C, Richard III, or D, Macbeth? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Kurt Vonnegut's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow and William Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury both take their titles from a speech in which of these Shakespeare plays? Is it Julius Caesar, Hamlet, Richard III, or Macbeth? All right, let's see who knew it. 8 said Macbeth, 2 said Richard III, 1 said Hamlet, and 1 said Julius Caesar. The correct answer for this one is Macbeth. Not supposed to say it, but I'm nowhere near a stage right now, so I'll probably be okay. But that is the correct answer. 8 of you added points to your score there. Well done. So let's go ahead and see how that affected the leaderboard. Okay, Sleepy holding on to first, Gabby in second, and Joe P in third, and the rest of the standings underneath that. But it is pretty darn close at the top there still, and we still have 15 questions to go. So there's still plenty of time to add more points to your score and shake up the standings even further. This has definitely changed since last time we looked at it. Although there are no ties, which is always fun. There's usually a tie when I'm hosting, which is funny to me because everybody answers at different times. But well done to those who are at the top right now. Let's see if you can hold on to it. We will be looking at the leaderboard again after question 31 before the last 5 questions. So here is question 22. The Simple Minds song, Don't You Forget About Me, was played at the beginning and end of which 1985 film? Is it A, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, B, Pretty in Pink, C, 16 Candles, or D, The Breakfast Club? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Very classic scenes. Don't You Forget About Me was played at the beginning and end of which of these movies? Is it Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, or The Breakfast Club? Very good song. All right, let's take a look. 100% of you said The Breakfast Club, and you are 100% correct. It's a classic film. You guys all knew that. Well done for everyone adding some points to their score here at question 22. Here's question 23. Which of these is not a line from the Police's mega hit, Every Breath You Take? Is it A, every vow you break? B, every smile you fake? C, every claim you stake? Or D, every time you wake? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Not enough time to play the song, but maybe enough time to sing it in your head. Which of these is not a line from the Police's mega hit, Every Breath You Take? Is it every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you stake, or every time you wake? On many Halloween playlists this song because of the creepy nature of some of these lyrics. For me, I always remember it being in Stranger Things, right when the screen flips to, well, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it, but that's time. So let's see how you did. 6 said every claim you stake, 4 said every time you wake, and 1 for every vow you break and every smile you fake. Classic song. The correct answer here is Every Time You Wake. Does not say that in the song. So there you go. 4 of you added some points to your score with Every Time You Wake. I think that'd probably be the worst one. For me, that's the creepiest one, so I'm glad that's not in the song. But well done. Here's question 24. What creature did Theseus slay in the great labyrinth of Crete? Is it A, the Minotaur, or Minotaur? I've heard it pronounced both ways. B, Hydra. C, Harpy, or D, Centaur? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Which creature did Theseus slay in the great labyrinth of Crete? Is it the Minotaur, the Hydra, the Harpy, or the Centaur? Sound off in the comments. Do you think it's pronounced Minotaur, or something else? Any of these would not be awesome to encounter in a labyrinth, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to encounter any of these. All right, let's see. 10 of you said Minotaur, 1 for Harpy, and 1 for Centaur. The correct answer is indeed a Minotaur or a Minotaur. So well done there on question 24. Here's question 25. Which nationality is Olympic legend Usain Bolt? Is he A, Haitian, B, Cuban, C, Jamaican, or D, Bahamian? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Which nationality is Olympic legend Usain Bolt? What a legend, that guy. So cool. Is it A, Haitian, B, Cuban, C, Jamaican, or D, Bahamian? If you guys are from COD, I'm assuming you've been to Chicago a few times. You might know the giant Under Armour store. They have the giant chest with the shirt on it right in the front of the store. That's what this GIF reminds me of. All right, let's see how you did. 9 of you said Jamaican, 3 said Haitian. Nobody said the other answers. And so the correct answer here is Jamaican. 9 of you are absolutely correct on that one. Well done on question 25. Here's question 26. How often does the FIFA World Cup take place? That kid is super excited. Is it A, every 3 years, B, every 2 years, C, every year, or D, every 4 years? You have 30 seconds, starting now. How often does the FIFA World Cup take place? Is it every 3, 2, 1, or 4 years? I don't know. I know that this is the FIFA World Cup because teams from around the world play. I don't know why we call our baseball World Series. It's really not that many places, but I digress. I do really enjoy watching the FIFA World Cup. Very intense, but let's see how you did. 10 said every 4 years, 1 said every 2, and 1 said every year. The correct answer here is every 4 years. That kid's gonna have a whole new one to cheer for in 4 years. So it is every 4. Well done to the 10 that got that correct. Here's question 27. What jersey number did Peyton Manning wear during his NFL career with the Colts and the Broncos? Is it A, 18, B, 12, C, 10, or D, 16? You have 30 seconds starting now. What jersey number did Peyton Manning wear during his NFL career with the Colts and the Broncos? Is it 18, 12, 10, or 16? I know almost nothing about American football, so I don't know. That's a spoiler alert, though. I do not write the questions myself. I just get to read them for you lovely folks. So that being said, if I get to the end and look at the YouTube comments and you guys said, hey, it was actually this, then I will double check for you. So, with that, here is how you did. 4 said 18, 3 said 10, 2 said 12, and 2 said 16. All of those sure are numbers, and the correct answer is 18. 4 of you were correct on this one. His jersey number was, 5. I apologize. Magic. 5 of you were correct on that one. It is 18. Well done there. Here's question 28. Who designed the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York City? Is it A, Frank Lloyd Wright, B, Salvador Dali, C, I.M. Pei, or D, Andy Warhol? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Who designed the Guggenheim Museum in New York? Was that Frank Lloyd Wright, Salvador Dali, I.M. Pei, or Andy Warhol? I've never been there. I've never been to New York. It's kind of a bummer. We have plenty of good museums in Chicago, but that one sounds so cool. Alrighty, let's see who got it. 6 said Frank Lloyd Wright, 4 said I.M. Pei, 1 said Salvador Dali, and 1 said Andy Warhol. The correct answer for this one, though, is Frank Lloyd Wright. 6 of you are correct on that one, 50% of you. And if you do live in the Chicago area, you have a chance to see some of his other work with the many Frank Lloyd Wright homes in Oak Park. So there you go. Well done to those 6 teams. Here's question 29. Okay, Alf was a hit NBC show from 1986 to 1990. What common house pet did title character Alf find appetizing? Is it A, hamsters, B, dogs, C, birds, or D, cats? You have 30 seconds starting now. Alf was a hit NBC show from 86 to 90. What common house pet did title character Alf find appetizing? Is it hamsters, dogs, birds, or cats? I have never seen Alf myself. I mean, I've seen a picture of him, but I have never seen the show. So your guess is as good as mine. I'm just kidding. I read the questions before I host. So I do know them all. All right, let's take a look here. 7 of you said cats, 3 said birds, and 2 said hamsters. Nobody said dogs. I think that'd be like, he's not huge. I think that'd be a little bit ridiculous. So the correct answer here is cats. 7 of you were correct on that one. Finds cats appetizing. I think ALF stands for alien life form, or I assume that's what it stands for. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But there we go. We're going to go to question 30 now. The 2020 World Series took place in which state? Is it A, Texas, B, Florida, C, Arizona, or D, California? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. I wish I had a jacket that said sports on the sleeve. It's very good. The 2020 World Series took place in which state? Is that Texas, Florida, Arizona, or California? I did not watch, but to my knowledge, both Chicago teams did well and got close, so at least there's that. So let's see. 6 of you said Texas, 4 said California, and 2 said Florida. The correct answer here is indeed Texas. 6 of you were correct there on question 30. We're going to go to question 31 and then take another look at the leaderboard before the last 5 questions. So, question 31. What sport was an Olympic event from 1900 to 1920? Is it A, croquet, B, competitive painting, C, tug of war, or D, American football? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. What sport was an Olympic event from 1900 to 1920? Is it croquet, competitive painting, tug of war, or American football? I would gladly watch the first 3 in an Olympic event. The last one is on TV already, so. But the first 3, yes, that sounds awesome. Alright, let's see here. 8 said tug of war, 4 said croquet. One of those is the correct answer. And it is tug of war. That was an Olympic event for 20 whole years, which is wild to me, but really kind of cool. I hope there's footage of that somewhere. I'm sure there is, actually. But anyway, that was question number 31. So let's take one last look at the leaderboard here. Gabby now in first, Steven in second, and Sleepy in third place. Still pretty close at the top there, though. And we do have 5 questions left, so this might change once again. So keep your eyes out. Make sure that you're ready to answer as soon as the timer starts, and you're watching for when that timer starts so you can get the most points possible. And again, don't be afraid to guess, because you have a 25% chance of being right, and if you have no idea, it's better to totally guess than to just leave it unanswered. So, good luck. Here are your last 5 questions. Question 32. Which of these artists painted the painting seen here, The Kiss? One of my personal favorite artists. Is it A, Manet, B, Rodin, C, Monet, or D, Klimt? You have 30 seconds, starting now. Which of these artists painted the painting seen here, The Kiss? Is it Manet, Rodin, Monet, or Klimt? Every time I go to the Art Institute of Chicago, I am sad because they have no works by this artist. So I guess it's still really cool, though. Alrighty, let's see who got this one. 6 said Klimt, 2 said Rodin, 2 said Monet, and 1 said Manet. The correct answer for question 32 here is Klimt. It is Gustav Klimt. Well done to the 6 that got that correct. This being said, though, and speaking of the Art Institute, they do currently have an exhibit that's focused on Monet right now, I think. I could be wrong, but I think they just opened a big Monet exhibit. Yes. So, if you're into Monet, you can go to the Art Museum and check that out. So there you go. Here is question number 33. In December 2019, what former SNL cast member returned to host the show for the first time in 35 years? It's not the man pictured here. So is it A, Joe Piscopo, B, Chevy Chase, C, Eddie Murphy, or D, Bill Murray? You have 30 seconds, starting now. In December 2019, which former SNL cast member returned to host the show for the first time in 35 years? Is it Joe Piscopo, Chevy Chase, Eddie Murphy, or Bill Murray? Alright, let's see here. 10 said Eddie Murphy and 2 said Bill Murray. The correct answer is indeed Eddie Murphy. 10 of you were correct on that one. Well done. If you haven't seen it, it's a pretty funny episode. SNL is kind of hit-miss these days, of course, but I did like that one. So, here's question 34. The Battle of Saipan took place during which conflict? Is it A, World War I, B, Vietnam War, C, Korean War, or D, World War II? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. The Battle of Saipan took place during which conflict? Is it World War I, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, or World War II? You have just about half the time remaining. I haven't warned you guys about time left too often. It's just with the lag. I try not to do it, but sometimes it slips out of my mouth anyway. So, time is almost up on this one. All right, let's see. 5 said Vietnam War, 5 said World War II, and 2 said Korean War. One of those answers with 5 responses is correct. It is World War II. So well done to the 5 that got that correct. All right, we have, let's see, 2 questions left. So let's get right to question 35. Which of these states does not border Texas? Is it A, Arkansas, B, New Mexico, C, Colorado, or D, Louisiana? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. Pretty big state. Which of these states does not border Texas? Is it Arkansas, New Mexico, Colorado, or Louisiana? Pardon me. And then just one question left after this. We'll see who the winners are. Alrighty. Whoop. Sorry. Let's take a look here. 7 of you said Colorado, 2 said Louisiana, 2 said Arkansas, and 1 said New Mexico. The correct answer here is Colorado. 7 of you were correct there. Colorado does not border Texas. So well done. And here is your final question of the night. Question 36. What classic Chevy debuted in 1966 and was designed as a competing model to the Ford Mustang? Is it A, a Corvette, B, a Camaro, C, Monte Carlo, or D, Chevelle? You have 30 seconds to answer, starting now. What classic Chevy debuted in 1966 and was designed as a competing model to the Ford Mustang? Is it a Corvette, a Camaro, a Monte Carlo, or a Chevelle? Obviously the car that this little kid is driving is the best car. No other models can compete with that. Alright, let's see here. 10 said Camaro and 2 said Corvette. One of those is the correct answer, and it is the Camaro. It's a competing model to the Mustang, so 10 of you got points added to your score there on the final question of the evening. So, good luck, everyone. Here is that final leaderboard with the winners. Sleepy, back in first place. Steven in second, and Sheila in third. Every team that starts with an S on the top there. So, well done, everybody. Those are your final standings for this evening, and those are sadly all the questions that I have for you. I hope that you guys had a lot of fun. I want to thank College of DuPage again for hosting this wonderful trivia night. And I hope that you learned something even if you didn't win or place near the top. I really should note though, however, that if you had a fun time playing this, go to the Baig, it's B-A-I-G, Baig of Tricks Facebook page, and you can find a lot of free online trivia nights to play like this. So, if you had fun, those are some other opportunities to learn some new fun facts. A lot of them are themed. I believe that tomorrow is Schitt's Creek trivia, so if you like that show, check out the Facebook page. And I'm now gonna see if there are any comments that I missed. Okay. Oh my gosh, I did. I love when when you guys are talking, because then I'm like, okay, people are having fun. Your uncle was the guy in the limo. COD Paralegal Club. That is so cool. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys again so much for playing trivia. I believe that I will be hosting for you again next month. So I hope that everyone has a wonderful November and a wonderful weekend. And I will see you guys in a month. Have a happy November and have a great night. Thank you guys. Good night.